Hello everyone, and thank you Aaron for having me on your channel. My name is Kevin and I've got a YouTube channel called Kevin Abroad where I mainly talk about languages and a little bit about linguistics as well. I am what most people refer to as polyglot because I speak 6 languages, 3 fluently and 3 from intermediate to beginner level. But today I'm going to tell you a story about how I realized that I would never speak English perfectly. Hopefully this little story of mine will be helpful for those of you who stress out about making mistakes or even not having perfect pronunciation in their non-native language. I don't know if you picked up on it already or if you just noticed the Eiffel Tower here, but I am actually French, and I say that because for some people apparently I don't sound like proper French, so I like to specify that just in case. Anyway, back to English. My relationship with English didn't start out very well when I was younger because I actually hated English. I just sucked at it. I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. You would think that growing up bilingual would give me an advantage, but nope, it really hasn't. I think if I had told my teachers back then that I wanted to do a BA in English and then that I wanted to do an MA in Applied Linguistics in English, I'm pretty sure they would turn to me and say, "You, Kevin? No way." It really was a struggle for me. So I did do a BA and an MA in Applied Linguistics in English, and even though I loved English, it was actually quite challenging for me because I wasn't fluent yet at the time, and I was also surrounded by people that were better at English than I was. There honestly wasn't a day when I wouldn't feel frustrated about my level of English, and I had such low confidence in myself that it came to the point where I almost considered dropping out. But gladly I didn't, and instead what I focused on was to work really hard on my pronunciation, my vocab and my grammar so that I could have the best English that I possibly could. I was really hoping that one day I would be almost like a native speaker. I think it paid off because at the end of my BA I ended up having quite a good grade, and I also was given the opportunity to do a year abroad. Now I'm sure you're going to think something like, well, that's just another story of a guy that struggled with languages and he worked hard and everything is fine now. But actually you couldn't be more wrong. Even after studying English for 6 years and spending 3 years in the UK, I still thought my English wasn't good enough. In fact, I was very self-aware of all the mistakes I would make and all the words I would mispronounce, because I was always worried that people would judge my English negatively. Thinking back on it, it was really ridiculous because my English was actually very good at the time. I was very comfortable communicating in English in lots of different situations. I mean, hell, I even wrote out an entire dissertation for my MA in English. But whenever someone would ask me, "Oh, where's your accent from?" I would always think to myself that that was because my accent wasn't good or because I had made a mistake in English, and then my cover was blown and then my English wasn't good enough. And every time it happened, I felt crushed. My dream was essentially to sound like a native speaker and have perfect English because I wanted to impress everyone. Really, it was just an ego thing. But I didn't really know it back then. I think my mindset changed when I realized that 1, my English would never be equal to that of a native speaker, and 2, when I realized that what mattered really was that I could communicate and not that my English was not perfect. I think what helped me change my mindset was that I would meet a lot of non-native speakers of French who spoke very good French, but still there was always something that would betray them or that would give them away. For example, they used slightly bad grammar, or maybe their French was ever so slightly unnatural, or there was a slight accent when they spoke French. So essentially there was nothing they could do to sound proper native because first, they weren't native speakers, and second, there was always going to be something that would give them away, so their French would never be perfect, and there was no reason for my English to be perfect either. And the other thing that changed was when I realized that actually I was scared of being judged by other people, but really I was scared of being judged by me, because actually in real life people don't actually spend their time judging your language skills. They don't care that much. And even if they did judge you, there's nothing you can do to change their minds. People will judge you no matter what you do. And when I understood that, it made me feel so free because I was wasting so much energy on trying to achieve an unachievable goal, which was to have perfect English, even though this is not possible. And I decided that I would actually spend more time being proud of myself and proud of my progress. It really helped me reduce my frustration with language learning. And now I feel like I have a more positive outlook on my languages in general. I guess if there was a moral to this story, it would be that frustration isn't actually helpful in language learning. Instead, you should focus on being proud of your progress, because you should be. There's no reason why you shouldn't be. And if you feel like people are judging your language skills, assuming they do judge you, it's not your fault, it's their fault. There's nothing you can do about it, it's on them, not on you. You can just carry on, do your progress, do your thing, and just ignore them. So that's it. Thank you for listening, good luck with your language learning, and bye!